So, are you a dad that wants to grow your business and still have plenty of quality time with your family? Then this might as well be the most important video that you ever watch. So, I speak to dads daily, and most of them want a business, they want their business to grow, but do not get the traction that they want. They do all kinds of different marketing strategies, they do ad strategies and social media, and they do partnerships and all these kind of things, but they do not get the traction they want. So they implement all these kind of strategies, but actually they do not know what is the issue. And the issue comes down to the message, to the clarity. So they actually do not speak to the clients, they actually speak more like at them. And this is a huge shift that has happened the past, it has happened slowly over the past, say, 20, 25 years. But now we are really in a time where this kind of marketing does not work anymore. But still, the problem is we are taught these methods, both in business schools and in so many places online. But it doesn't work anymore. So I will tell you about the two things that 95% of all dadpreneurs fail. And when they do that, basically leaving thousands of dollars on the table and at the same time leaving a lot of quality time with your family in the office. So the secret is very simple, and we'll get into it really deeply and quickly here. So the secret is to understand the problem and the desire. So now I said it. So if you know everything about that, what I actually mean, you can stop watching this now and implement it. But it's the chances, if you did not already implement it, you probably do not really know it. So let's look at it in different perspectives. So this point is, by using this in all your communication, you go from kind of hunting clients to building client list that is lining up for you. Like they want to come, like, I want to buy from you. That's the switch. So it's really cool. So I will give you a very clear example in a while, but first compare to where we come from. So when it comes to marketing and communication, we come from the old mass media marketing, and it's ads, in newspapers and in TV. And what has happened in the past, say 100 years, is that big companies, they have created products that actually were not needed. And for example, we can speak about ketchup. So there's been tomato sauce around for a very long time, but ketchup was suddenly an invention. And it wasn't like kids were crying, oh, I need ketchup, or I need ketchup. It was actually Heinz probably that invented this product. And before that, the housewives or housemen, it was more rarely at that time, they still made it work, right? So it wasn't an actual problem that they solved. But through the mass marketing, through huge ads and huge ad spend, they started promoting this, and they continued to do that and did it so loud and so often until enough people kind of were addicted to that. So they started buying it, and they continued to promote it, like, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. And it's like, okay, this is the way. If I'm not buying ketchup, I'm not in culture, I'm not one of you anymore. I'm an outsider. And people don't want to be outsiders, so they kind of get hooked. And the problem with this is then these businesses then reinvest basically 90% of their profits into marketing again, and usually have very, very small margins because they need to create the desire. And this is very far from what small businesses can do today. But we still use the same methods. So the main issue here, we come from a place of, here is a product, I think it's good, I see it solves a problem, and we communicate kind of the benefits. So of course, ketchup is very tasty and much easier to use than to make a fantastic Italian tomato sauce. But it does not really serve an issue that we have. The new approach is super powerful, and it comes through the power of internet and interconnection and the global market that we live in today. That there are so many people with so many problems today that do not know how to solve them. And so before we have mass media, it's very distant. It's one-way communication. It's like Heinz saying, "Hey, buy me," and it's like people say, "What is that?" But Heinz don't see it. They just continue to say, "Buy, buy, 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 buy." But now we live in a world of intimacy, so we can actually speak to our potential clients, and we can hear what they're saying back, or we can even, before we start speaking at all, we just listen. So really, the new approach is to get to know people and help them to solve their problem and reach the desires that they have. So it's the very opposite of this old mass media marketing. Yes, so the old way was to talk about the product, maybe the features, maybe the benefits, but mainly the features, the functions of the product. And the new way is to understand the problem of the group of people that you are committed to help and put words on what they are not able to express. So the key here is really cool. It's super simple. It's actually to study a very narrow field. I will get to an example so you get it more clearly. You study a narrow field in a market where there's a group of people that has an issue, and then learn about their problem. You know, so you can speak to 20 people. If you only speak to 20 people, you will know and understand their problem with more words and wider understanding that they know themselves. And the power with this is, as soon as you can explain, verbalize the problem that they have in a way that's better than they can say themselves. Sure, they can speak about that. So when you talk to them, they will be able to describe the issue, what's their struggle, what's their pain point in a very clear way. But when you speak to many, you can pinpoint, that was the key word. And many speak about, the external pains. It's stressful. For example, now we speak about not getting clients in, and that's stressful. But actually, what is the big pain? It's the anxiety, it's the struggle. It's like, am I going to give up? It's all these kind of words that actually make it tangible and emotional. Yeah, you know what I mean. And the benefit of being able to really understand the problem is that when you can explain the problem in a way that is better than they can explain it, you put better words like, yeah, you get me. People automatically believes that you can solve the problem. You have better understanding than they do. They assume that you can solve the problem. So you see the power of this, right? It's huge. So the issue is that most entrepreneurs, dadpreneurs do, they speak about the feature or the product. No one cares. The power is in the problem. The power is in the pain of your ideal clients. When you learn to speak their language as they describe it, but in a more clear way, more obvious way, then it's like, wow, you get me, I need you. You will help me resolve this. Yes? And really, a super important part here is do not try to be smart. It's one of the most common things. Like, as entrepreneurs, we want to create really cool and really good stuff, but then by trying to be smart, we start trying to use like better and smarter, cooler, hipper, whatever words, and we just get lost. Because the people with the problem, they don't care. They care about their problem, and they want to solve it in a way that they understand it. So just listen to what they're saying, how they're saying it, and give it back to them, reflect it back. So we share with you like a very quick example. So I help dadpreneurs create businesses that do not take them, so they can still spend more time with their families and still grow their business. And the biggest fear for guys is like, there's many, I don't want to create a success. I don't want to create a successful business because I'm afraid that I will lose my family. It's a huge fear. It's a huge fear. And then we have the other side. So yeah, sure, I would love to spend more time with my family, but I need to pay the bills, right? No man want to give up that. So these are like the core main fears. And then as an example, how that expressed, I'll go through this very quickly. So how I can describe this problem in a more detailed way. Maybe, have you also realized that you do not want to be a businessman that happens to have a family, but a family man with a business? Maybe you provide financially, but know your family miss your presence. Or maybe you are present, but are not the leader that you wish you were in your family. You're probably talented, skilled, and has all that it takes. But no matter what you do, there's an emptiness inside. Something is missing. You have realized that happiness and well-being is not a result of cash in your bank, but living a life of integrity. To really be the man that you want to be. But how? It's all about being the man, dad, and husband that you want to be, with the success and passion, love that you know that you and your family deserves. I have been there. I went from a business in crisis and life underwater with a deep depression, and 6 months later I turned it around, and all the results changed, but I actually could become a man that I wanted to be, a man being present and still being able to provide in a great way for my family. The relief and the look I got from my wife's eyes was amazing. And to finally note, now I put this experience into system that helps you own your life, success, and fulfillment. So that's a Dadpreneur Revolution business system. So that's an example of how you can speak to your target audience in a way that they can relate. Because now these words, I didn't really figure those out. I kind of extracted them from hundreds and hundreds of conversations with dadpreneurs. It's like speaking about their fears, their anxieties, and how they see the world a little bit. So this is super, super powerful. Yeah. Now Leia is coming in here. So basically, I have 4 main questions to you. Would you like a business that puts family first, great profits, allows you to put the passion and purpose first, and create a great legacy? So if you think this was valuable and you can implement these tactics or start speaking about the problems and desires of your clients straight away, do it. Shift your marketing from your product to the problems and desires that they have, and really connect that. And in the button below, you can click and get a free template how to create this business that put family first, gives you great profits, gives you a business that where you express your passion and your purpose and create a great legacy. So I have a really simple template and a free training you can do to design your ideal dadpreneur lifestyle. So it's your ideal, your unique map of your success. Lots of success and fulfillment to you.